In our consultations, we want to ask people what support they have. That's really important. People come with really difficult situations in life. They clearly struggle, otherwise they wouldn't seek our help. And it's important to explore what support network they might or might not have around them in terms of professional, but also in their personal lives. And that often, I don't know, but not infrequently, certainly, it leads to a question, well, I still go to work, I put up a brave face, this famous sort of, I pull my socks up and get on with this, and I really haven't shared this with anyone. And I think that's a really tough spot to be in. So the question, how should I, and if so, how can I share what I'm going through with someone else I trust? And I think this is a really sort of human moment in our work, because not sharing with anyone what I'm going through for all of us is difficult. It might be an initial relief, it's probably a zone of safety, but very soon after it will lead to feeling more alone and lonely. I feel isolated, I am isolated in a way. I might be even louder experiencing self-critical thoughts, negative self-thoughts. Sometimes people then can also feel almost resentful, perhaps, because it's such a difficult place to be. But it's certainly not great. And I think one needs to find ways to explore and then overcome that, what is an understandable retreat in a way. Perhaps almost inevitably, it's born out of embarrassment, shame, feeling guilty, and fearing how others will judge me. So it's really a place of vulnerability, and sharing vulnerability is very difficult for all of us. Because also of our maybe often attitude towards what it means. Often people say, well, vulnerability is perhaps a sign of weakness. It's a sign of that I'm not able to sort myself out, and whatever that means. So that's tough. And I think, and certainly I see it exactly the opposite. I think sharing vulnerability really requires courage. And the one who steps out and shares with others, that's courageous. But it's a leap of faith. So I wouldn't advocate, just going around and tell everyone. We, of course, do it in a measured, maybe step-by-step approach. But it is important to find someone that I trust, where I think I get a genuine answer. Sometimes maybe also trusting that the person will tell me if maybe I could do something different. But in principle, when it comes to sharing that I've been going through, or I am going through, a period of feeling psychologically, emotionally unwell, that requires a leap of faith. But paradoxically, it is these moments which actually create connectedness. Sharing vulnerability is connecting with others. That might perhaps sound strange, but that's what it is. And I often ask people, let's turn it the other way. Do you have an experience, a memory of when a friend came to you and shared something about themselves with you, something that makes them vulnerable? And what did that feel like to you as a receiver of trust, of openness, of sharing that with you? And almost inevitably people say, I felt really connected. It lifted our friendship, our partnership to another level. So I think that hopefully, and must be the direction of travel. And I think in our consultations and subsequent sessions, we can help with that. Now, it requires a bit of thinking about it. It requires thinking about when and how would I go on about it? What do I say? We can almost role play that. But ultimately, it's walking the walk and being courageous enough to try that. And it will create connectedness. I will be able to access the support I deserve. And it will help me, I think, to come through and sail through the storm I might find myself in.